In the last 6 months, you might have noticed that the number of videos in your Facebook feed has decreased. That is because at the beginning of the year, Facebook changed their algorithm to emphasise more content from your friends and family and less content from publishers. The ABC, Sydney Morning Herald, that sort of stuff. However, that could be about to change. Facebook this week have unrolled something called Facebook Watch in Australia, and it's a... Do you know what? Actually, I'm going to get smarter people than me to explain. Seamus Byrne is a freelance technology and science writer. Ariel Bogle is from the ABC Science Unit. She writes about science, technology, and everything. Ariel Bogle, Facebook Watch. Educate me. What is it?
Facebook Watch, in a nutshell, is a new tab on Facebook, a new destination for video. So basically, it rolled out in the United States back in August last year, and rolling out this week, Facebook Watch with this new tab. If you click on it, you'll be able to see a feed of recommended videos that Facebook thinks you might like to watch, but you can also create a customizable list of videos from pages you follow. So if you are following, the Ellen DeGeneres show, for example, it would show you a selection of recent clips from that show. Basically, it's a place for longer video on Facebook. This has been the struggle for a long time. Just how long can a video be on a platform like Facebook and keep people engaged? This is Facebook's bet, I think, on creating longer form video, although probably not like a Netflix style 1 hour The Queen type show.
Yeah, it's interesting. There is this space between super short video, and we've all become quite accommodated to this idea of these, 45-second to 2-minute square videos that proliferate Facebook. I will say, just as a personal experience, my TV show, our videos that perform better tend to be upward, like the really well-performing things, certainly from last year, were like 7-8 minute things.
Yeah, right.
So I don't think there are hard and fast rules in terms of what the algorithm does support and what it doesn't support in standard video land. But I think the other component to Facebook Watch, Seamus, is that there will be a way to monetize it within the videos as well.
Adding in this thing, funnily enough, called ad breaks. If you have a page that hits certain benchmarks, you've had like 30,000 minutes of video watch, you've got 10,000 followers, that sort of a thing, then you can actually just sign up and start including the ad breaks tech, and that's essentially pre-roll, mid-roll type of advertising that can be integrated into your videos. And then it's a like 55-45 cut, so you
in
get
direction
slightly
of who?
Slightly in the direction of the creator.
So they get the 55 and Facebook gets 45.
Which when you compare it to a lot of other platforms and things, I think it's a pretty big cut.
Is it a good deal?
Well, I did have the chance to speak with Fiji Simo. She's the Vice President of Product at Facebook this week about the rollout. And I asked her, this question: when you're coming to Australia, is there going to be any exclusive, unique content that viewers will not be able to find elsewhere? They have paid this year a bunch of big news organisations, CNN, Fox News, Univision, some others, to create digital-only, Facebook-only news shows. They really seem to be putting some effort behind creating a unique slate of content that would, I suppose, engage and attract viewers. But here, there's none of that announced so far. And I also asked them if they were going after sports rights, which has been the technique of some of the new digital players coming here to try and get some cricket rights, get football rights to attract viewers. They said they weren't actively doing that either. They wouldn't really talk about it. Actually, one interesting thing they told me, that when I asked them why there was no Australian paid-for content by Facebook, they said for the moment, direct funding was reserved for shows with global appeal. So I'm sorry, Aussies, I guess you don't make shows with global appeal. Yeah. People do watch video on Facebook. That much is certain.
Yeah.
Will they go to a new destination on Facebook outside the news feed to watch video? That is a really big question that I don't think has even been answered in the United States yet. Some people have tried to analyse this question and see whether there is good awareness from Americans who have had Watch for a year about the product. And so far, the numbers have not looked good. I mean, Facebook pushes back on that. They say there's growing awareness that, watching has grown at some exponential rate. But according to surveys of the American public, Watch doesn't have the greatest levels of awareness at this point.
I'm still hung up on their notion of a global brand. Like, do you know the best way to make a global brand? You push it to a global audience. It's not rocket science. And, it's not like we don't speak the same language as the UK, Canada, US. I'm not saying specifically us. I think it applies to any number of countries, but it's just like the notion that global just means American.
Yeah, and when I talk to people in other, areas of tech these days, particularly in actually video content, they're quite often like, like say with stuff like Twitch, right? It's, sort of people streaming game videos, that there's Aussies who get up in the morning and stream for the US audience.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's really successful. It's like no one can, in some ways, the Australian accent is kind of a fun addition to whatever they're doing and their personality. It's not in any way considered a thing that gets in the way of their success.
Who do you think stands to gain most from using Facebook Watch?
Probably the one that jumps out to me is, I think it might work really well for the breakfast television type scenarios where it's, they already sort of clip up, their segments really effectively to distribute on Facebook. A lot of it has that quality which, gets people angry at each other and
it's like a secondary
engagement.
audience. Yeah.
But that if there's now revenue attached to that, like that stuff gets distributed in close to real time because, again, it's often quite topical about what happened today. And so that stuff kind of has a couple of days of really good shelf life. I think that sort of stuff, there might be that aspect where it's not about funneling people away from the TV, but it's about using content that only had that moment of life on air anyway, and now you're sort of getting a good secondary aspect to it.
All right, there's lots more of this in the podcast. If you download this show, we talk about lots more stuff. There might be some swearing. Who knows? All you need to do is look forward. Download this show on whichever podcasting app you use. And if you are one of those very clever people that watches this on YouTube, leave a comment underneath and tell us what you want us to talk about on the show, because somebody reads that and then they transcribe it out and they hand it to me, and then sometimes we do it on the show. Very high tech. See you next time.